I work as a nurse at a health center in a small village, which is quite different from a big city hospital. Health centers are smaller in size and serve a smaller number of patients. At the time of this incident, I was a junior nurse and still unfamiliar with the workings of the health center. I had only been working for a week, and it was my turn to take the night shift. In our health center, all employees, regardless of their roles, had to take turns working the night shift. The shift ran from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Due to the small size of the village and its relatively low population, the night shift was usually quiet with fewer patients to attend to. However, there was a myth among us that talking and being happy during the quiet moments would attract an influx of patients. Fearful of tempting fate, I refrained from saying anything and engaged in conversations with my coworkers about various topics such as family and finances while waiting for a patient to arrive. As the clock struck midnight, exhaustion set in, and our eyes grew heavy with sleep. Unbeknownst to us, we ended up dozing off in the night shift room. Suddenly, a knock on the door startled us, and someone said, "Ma'am, I'm sorry, but we've run out of IV fluids." As a new nurse, I jolted awake and immediately grabbed a new IV fluid before rushing out. While walking towards the patient's room, I sensed something odd. The patient had knocked on the door of the night shift room, which was not the usual way of seeking help. Typically, patients would press the bell on the night shift room table. Moreover, the patient hadn't mentioned their name or the room they were in. Realizing this, I paused and wondered which room I should enter. Ignoring my logical thoughts, I followed my instincts to guide me. I arrived at an inpatient room. Each room had 2 beds, and our health center had a total of 5 inpatient rooms, accommodating 10 beds in total. I opened the door to a pitch-black room and turned on the lights. The curtains of the 2 mattresses were closed, and they were designed to open if the beds were unoccupied, preventing confusion for the attending nurse. I cautiously pulled back the curtain of the first bed, only to find it empty. The second bed revealed the same emptiness. Fear crept in, but I reminded myself to remain professional, as there might still be patients in need of assistance. I repeated the process for the other 4 rooms, with the same result. Confused and frightened, I returned to the night shift room. There, my nurse friend wore a terrified expression and said, "Did we actually have any patients tonight?" It was only then that I realized the truth. We hadn't received a single patient that night. Following that incident, none of us dared to fall asleep again until the end of the shift. 2 days later, I discovered that the person who had disturbed us during the night shift was someone who had passed away due to a lack of treatment by the nurse or doctor on duty that night. It wasn't due to negligence, but rather because the health center had been overwhelmed with patients, and there weren't enough staff members to attend to everyone. My friend told me that I was lucky, as there had been instances when the deceased person had appeared directly to the night shift workers to wake them up.